Finding good movies to watch nowadays can be pretty tough, and it's very rare to see movies with plot twists that play with your emotions. However, The Guilty, which was released in late September, was the full package. But after watching it, many fans have questions they wished the movie threw some light on. In this video, we'll be talking about those questions as well as the head-scratching ending. Stay tuned. Firstly, what happened at the end of The Guilty? The Guilty movie is one of the very few new age movies that have gotten a thumbs up from me. The plot of this movie was so sick but amazing that it took some people a while to round their heads around it. After the supposed victim of a crime was revealed to be the actual bad guy, many viewers got confused. I guess it's what a good movie should look like. It makes you feel you know what's going to happen, then surprises you. Well, just to make things clear, we are going to go over the sense that happened at the end of the movie. After realizing that he's gotten the situation all wrong and that Emily was not the victim but the guilty one, Joe lost his balance for a while, especially after hearing that she hurt her baby. However, after Emily's husband Henry explained that she was acting out because she ran out of medication, Joe decided that he had to save her. So when he was revealed to a panicked and confused Emily was about to jump off a ledge, Joe's secrets came flying out about a 19-year-old boy he killed, which was able to keep Emily from jumping. During his trial, Joe tells his friend, who was supposed to tell some lies for him, to tell the truth after realizing that this was the right thing to do. Well, now that we've gotten you back on track with the details of the final scenes, it's time to talk about the many questions that this surprisingly amazing movie failed to answer. These are glaring questions that obviously need answers. Did they do it on purpose? I guess we might never know. Why did Joe kill the boy? We all know that Joe killed that 19-year-old boy because of a crime he committed, with Joe admitting that he deserved it. But the movie never told us what he did for sure. If you remember correctly, his name was Joseph, and the only real explanation for his death is that it was delivered with extreme emotion. For some reason, the movie left out the nature of his crime, even though it was one of the reasons Joe was demoted to a 911 operator. Nonetheless, many fans think that they deserve to know the answer. I mean, they shouldn't just leave us hanging like that. Although initially claiming that this murder was done because he could, Joe later explained that Joseph had hurt someone, but he isn't able to say this with any conviction. Finally, he shudders out something about his father that isn't expanded upon. From the look of things, Joe doesn't even really know why he committed the crimes, so I guess we're never going to know. Why was Joe separated from his wife? Very little light is known about the relationship between Joe and his wife, Jess. From the way they act towards each other, we can tell that they are no longer together, but they still keep in touch. We also know that they both have a daughter together who Joe isn't keen on meeting. However, this is all the information that was revealed to us. The reason for their separation is, I know, but I guess there wasn't any need for it given how intense the movie was. Some fans have concluded that the reason why Joe might be separated is because of his professional integrity and most likely his explosive anger. No one likes an angry bird. Although Jess appears to have been dodging his calls, she does inform him that his partner has been in talks with the FBI, implying that she's at least partly backing him in his case. His anger issues might also be one of the reasons why he and his daughter Paige are not together. However, as I said, I don't think there was any time to dabble into Joe's personal life. How did Oliver survive? For me, this is one of the most absurd parts of this movie. Yes, I'm impressed with the plot twist. There are too many holes in the story. The story revolving around Oliver, the infant son of Emily and Henry, was nothing short of insane. It was revealed to us that Emily had hurt the child when she explained that she took the snakes out of his belly. Just saying this is giving the creeps, but when she said these exact words, viewed understood immediately. This psycho had removed the intestines of the baby and left him alone with his 6-year-old sister, Abby. I don't know which was more heartbreaking, the killing of the child or the fact that the 6-year-old had now seen the insides of his baby brother. The officer who got to the scene revealed that there was blood everywhere at the scene, and the 1 or 2-year-old boy had been gravely injured for roughly an hour. The same officers claimed that he was no longer breathing. However, in a surprising turn of events, it becomes known that Oliver has survived his injuries. Of course, it's a good thing that the baby did not die. His survival should have been impossible. The movie movie failed to explain how this happened, and I guess it's just one of the movie flaws we have to live with. What will happen to Abby and Oliver? Everything has gotten very real for viewers who have been concerned about what was going to happen to the siblings who faced a very traumatic event. Well, their future depends largely on what's going to happen to their parents, primarily Emily. It's certain that after pulling such an insane feat, Emily is never going to get control over the children again. And I don't think she'd like to, that is, if she cares for them. For covering this up and leaving the children behind while trying to protect Emily, Henry might face prison time. So with both parents gone, it's most likely that the children would pass into the care of a relative or foster family. Also, is Oliver going to ever return to being normal? We know that he is alive, but after getting his intestines removed by his mother, we have no idea what conditions he has to live with if he truly survives the ordeal. What is the significance of Joe's headaches and inhaler? Throughout the movie, we get to see that Joe is very reliant on his inhaler, even though he barely uses it. He is seen always holding on to it. However, not even once was the importance of this inhaler explained. Nonetheless, viewers were about to put forward a conclusion that Joe held onto it because it acted as some sort of talisman to his crazy personality. It's quite obvious that he doesn't like how he acts out and clutches this inhaler and struggles against his limitations. We also notice that Joe suffers from very frequent headaches, from which no explanation is also given. Another one of the many questions the movie didn't feel like giving us the answers. I think viewers deserve more from the plot. A good reason for doing this is if these unanswered questions set the stage for a second movie, I think it will be a very good way to end things properly. What happened to Emily? It is a bit funny that the entire movie was centered around the psychotic mother who was planning to take her life, but in the end, we didn't get to see what happened to her. We didn't even get to see her face. Once again, except the producers are planning a second season, this is pretty low. After learning about this supposed captive, she immediately got the attention of the less than interested 911 operator. However, everything took a bitter turn after realizing too late that Emily was the attacker. His determined effort to save her life bears fruit after she fails to commit suicide. From there, her story ends, and we do not know what becomes of her. Although her ex-husband, Harry, Peter Sarsgaard, had once attempted to get her to the psychiatric facility, it was never revealed if this was what happened. I mean, how hard could it be to see a woman dressed in white in a mental hospital? Nonetheless, this information was never revealed. So I guess we should all come up with a fitting end for her and stick to it. What happened to Henry? Finally, Henry, who was perceived as the threat in the movie, was later revealed to be just a caring husband. He does everything he can to get Emily the help she needs, but the situation grows far beyond him. I don't know whether to call him crazy or kind to still try to save Emily after all her crimes. Unfortunately, he's rewarded with his efforts by taking a brick to the head after Emily escapes his grasp. By then, Joe had realized that Emily was the guilty one and that Henry was just a heartbroken ex-husband. Even though Joe tried to calm him down, his effort is fruitless as the line on Henry goes dead, leaving his fate unknown. I guess we'll never know what happened to him. Well guys, we've come to the end of another video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and drop a comment telling us what you think about the video.